WMO needs very powerful telecommunication, and ITU has just released a report which deals with this. Are we using the full potential of this telecommunication? And the answer is yes and no. We need to exchange huge amount of observation and prediction and products across all our member states. We have observation from radars, from satellites, which generate huge amount of volume. So we need more and more telecommunication power. But at the same time, many of our member states don't have access to these facilities, and they need that facility. At the same time, we have also a very close cooperation with ITU in order to protect some of the frequencies which are critical to monitor the state of the atmosphere. For example, some satellites to measure the composition of the atmosphere in some chemicals or CO2, ozone, they use the physical properties of this molecule with respect to certain frequencies. And if these frequencies are used for other things like mobile application, they cannot be used for monitoring. And this will affect negatively the quality of the forecast, but also the quality of the early warning in case of extreme events. So when it comes to climate, it's very important that we continue to work very closely together so that, yes, we use as best as possible what is available, but at the same time, we protect these very special frequencies which should not be used for anything else. We are using more and more remote sensing. We are using remote sensing from ground-based radars, but also from instruments based on satellites, on aircrafts, and on many other platforms. Actually, the challenge is, when it comes to climate monitoring, is to make sure that we have complete coverage of the Earth. And this is where satellites bring an invaluable contribution, because you can observe the whole Earth. While with ground system, you will have gaps over the ocean, you will have gaps in certain areas. So the satellite provides this global coverage. However, the satellites have their own weaknesses. The satellites which observe always the same point, which we call the geostationary satellites, they are very high in the atmosphere, 36,000 kilometers about. So therefore, the precision, the quality of the observation is not the same as that of ground system, but they bring continuous and global coverage. So we have also other types of satellites, polar orbiting satellites, a number of research satellites, and all these data complement each other. However, it's very important that there is a continuity as well, because when you monitor climate, you need to make sure that you can distinguish what is sort of instrument noise, which is always there, from the variability of the atmosphere and of the climate. So this is why it's so important to have very sophisticated tools to analyze, to quality control these data, but also satellite and ground system complement each other. You may know that often the satellite instruments tend to drift, and they need to be monitored, quality control, calibrated with ground instruments. So the two really complement each other.